third session in our Lunch and Learn series around Microsoft Dynamics 2013. So today we're going to be covering leveraging advanced finds and creating dashboards. Before I get started, I just want to do a quick 1-minute recap on some GoToWebinar housekeeping. So everybody on the call today is in listen-only mode. When I turn the presentation over to Mitch, who's going to be our presenter today, he'll be speaking and sharing his screen. If you have questions along the way that you'd like to have answered, please go ahead and enter them in this text box over here. So there's a little box where you can ask a question. We'll be moderating that Q&A box throughout the session, and towards the end of the session we have 15-20 minutes at the end to answer any questions that come up throughout the session. And we're going to do our best today to answer any and all questions. However, if there is a question that for any reason we can't answer, we'll take that question down and we will blast the response out to the entire, to all of the attendees of today's session. So we definitely want to get your questions answered, and we'll do our best to do that on the call, but if we can't, we'll get right back to you. If you're having a problem, if you're not seeing the full screen, something that's helpful might be to minimize the client off to the probably on the right-hand side of your screen, and maximize the video display. As I said, this is today is the third session. We've done 2 more. We did the Dynamics business process flows a couple of, I guess, last week, and the week before that we did tips and tricks in navigation with some of the new navigation features on CRM 2013. Next week we're going to be skipping our Friday series because of Good Friday. A lot of companies are off, and we'll be back on April 25th with Brendan Hancock doing a session on mobile, and he's going to be covering the new CRM 2013 mobile client, which has been dubbed Mocha. He will also be spending a little bit of time talking about Resco, which is another mobile client that has some different features. So he'll be going through both of those mobile clients and doing a contrast compare, talking about some of the good features of each and when one might be a better client over the other, and try to give you guys a good understanding of the options that are that exist with Dynamics for mobile. May 2nd, we'll be back with Jonathan Kazmini, who's going to be talking about marketing new features, and then we'll wrap up this series on May 9th with Ask the Experts Power Hour. So if you've got questions that haven't been answered along the way, we will have a team of about 10 or 15 people on that call, all available to answer any type of question that you've got regarding CRM 2013, whether it's a development-related question, a functional question. You can bring the questions, and we'll do our best to answer them. And then finally, just wanted to mention that every Tuesday at 2 o'clock we have a CRM for Distribution product overview, and if you're interested in joining that, feel free to go to our website, beringer.net, and there's an events tab there. You can see what different classes exist, and you can register for one of them if you're interested. I'm just going to fly through this. I think everybody on the call probably knows us, but we've been implementing a Beringer Dynamics CRM solutions since the first release of Microsoft Dynamics. We've been implementing CRM since '93, but specifically Dynamics CRM for about 12 years now. And as all of you know, Dynamics CRM 2013 was released a couple of months ago, and we've got many of our customers have migrated to that and or are implementing, in the process of implementing that release right now. So we've definitely got a staff of people that are available to help with implementation questions, issues, training, concerns, anything that you need, we're here to help. Okay, we in addition to the CRM business at Beringer, we have really 3 other main practice areas. We also do IT outsourcing, managed network services. We help businesses with voice over IP telephone systems, and finally we have a cloud services division to help with all of your any needs around cloud. With that, I'm going to turn it over. Today's presenter is Mitch Gollub. Mitch is a developer on our team. He's been working with the Dynamics product for a couple of years now and specializes in dashboards, reports, and advanced finds, and is going to be sharing some of his insight today along those topics. And with this, Mitch, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. I'm going to change presenters to you. If you could take your phone off mute, and you should be the presenter in 1 minute. Here you go. Okay.
Thanks. All right, let me just get started up here. Perfect. Hi, welcome to the Lunch and Learn series. My name is Mitch Gollub. I'm a developer for CRM Dynamics with Beringer Associates. And I'd like to talk to you guys today about advanced finds and creating some dashboards. These are nice features of CRM. Dashboards, some of them are native to CRM, which are very nice. And they all really display the data that you want to see in your CRM system. Let's go over the content of today's webinar. So we're going to break it up into 2 sections, one for advanced finds, one for dashboards. We're going to go over finding the advanced finds in the new version of CRM 2013. For some of you who are familiar with CRM 2011, the advanced find is actually located in a different place. So we're just going to go over really quick about where to find it, just so it's easier for you guys to access. You might also be asking, why advanced finds? There are plenty of views in CRM. Why might I need to be more specific? Advanced finds really help you narrow down the data that you want to see. But we're going to actually show you a couple of examples of how you can really get the most out of these advanced finds. You'll also be able to create and save views, even share them among other team members and people in your organization. We'll also get into some deeper searches with advanced finds using related entities. Next will be dashboards. We're going to take a very quick look at some of the 2013 native dashboards, probably just to get an idea of how we can construct the custom dashboards that we'll go through some examples for right after. We'll go into inserting dashboard objects and even resizing them to make them formatted on the dashboard just the way you would like it. Okay, so let's get started. Advanced finds. So now we're going to finding the advanced finds. 2 of the main places you're going to be able to see them are on the main dashboard page. So when you first open CRM 2013, you're going to go into this workplace section. Probably a dashboard will be displayed. And right on the top, you'll see the advanced finds. Now in 2011, there was a ribbon that used to be here. It's not anymore. It's replaced by this nice little menu bar. And I've outlined the advanced find on the left there for you, just so you can find it easily. So say you're in a view, maybe looking at customers or contacts. You won't see the advanced find available right in the top menu there. You'll drop down in an ellipse that's located a little bit on the right of the menu. It shows some more options, but I've highlighted the advanced find for you to see. So why advanced finds? You'll actually be able to narrow down the data you want to find. Some of the native views in CRM include maybe active accounts. Maybe you don't want to see all the active accounts. Maybe you just want to see a specific portion of them. A lot of our clients actually have a lot of account data, so I imagine it would be pretty hard to sort through all of that yourself without using an advanced find. You can also share your data. You'll be able to take the filters that you make through advanced finds and maybe share them with someone in sales, someone from another part of the team. It's actually a great tool for collaborating with other members of the company. Advanced finds, I also find, are a great tool for developers. You're able to export Excel spreadsheets of the data you find. From there, you can actually manipulate the data and even put it back in the CRM with the changes you made if you like. Also, you're able to do any operation, really, that you could do in Excel with the data in CRM. Also, I will talk a little bit about Fetch XML. It's a great little resource for putting things into reports, making custom charts. With the advanced finds, it's really an easy way to grab the data that you're talking about and put it into some custom code. All right, I'm going to go through a quick demonstration of creating some views in our advanced finds. So here we are. Here's our 2013 system. As you can see, I'm on the main dashboard page. So the advanced find is rather easy to find. It's going to be right up here in the top left. So I'm going to click it for you. And now you can see the little pop-up box for the advanced find. As you can see, it has the ribbon like it did in 2011. So this will be comforting for the users who are familiar with that, or even have touched the advanced find before. Let's see. So we're looking at our primary entities. Right now, we're currently looking at accounts, and that's what we're going to use for the examples for today. When I click the drop-down, you can actually see any entity that you could do an advanced find on in your CRM system, which is a lot. So when you're playing around with this, be sure to go through and really see what you can do with this tool. Let's start with something, a view that's native to CRM 2013. I'm sure you guys have seen the active accounts view. It's pretty basic, and I think everybody has used it before who's used the CRM system or has looked at a list view of accounts. It's actually a really simple filter. It's looking at accounts. That is our primary entity here. And when you're making advanced find filters, there is a field for the fields that are in the accounts. There's an operator and the value of the filter. So if we're looking at active accounts, we want all the accounts in our system that have a status that is equal to active. It's pretty simple, right? So let's view it. To view the results of your advanced find, you hit the results button. And then here we go. Results of all the active accounts in your system. But as you can see, that number is pretty high, 5,000 plus records. So let's narrow it down a bit. Let's try going through an example where maybe you want to see all the accounts that are not located in New Jersey. So how would we do that? I'm going to look at fields. Since we're looking for the state, we're looking for the state to not be New Jersey. I'm going to pick this address 1 state field. This is actually native in CRM to all the accounts, so if you're following along, you should be able to do this example. Next, we can move on to the operator. So I'm actually going to specify New Jersey, but when we go into this operator menu, you can see that there's a lot of options for does not equal, even contains a certain value, maybe does not contain any data at all. I'm going to choose does not equal for this example. But the great thing about these operators is there's no real math involved when you're trying to find the data that you want. There's no symbols, no math. It's all just in plain English. So as you can see, I'm going to type in New Jersey, and now we have a nice English sentence. It's logical. I want the accounts whose status is equal to active, and I want their address to not equal New Jersey. It's really easy. There's no custom code, no math involved. It's really just plain English, just as you would ask someone for this account if you're talking to a person. So cool. I actually want to edit some columns here. Let's look at the results really quick. As you can see, when we pull up a view, we have these columns here on the top. Since my view is concerned with account, the location of the account, I'm going to try to represent that in my list. So I'm going to try to add that address column to my list. Go to Edit Columns. And now we can even see the columns that come up in the view right away. So since the address bar is not there, let's go to Add Columns and add it in. So yep, the account is here. So we're going to look for that address 1 state province field. Perfect. There we go. Add it in. Looks like it appeared at the end. I'm going to scroll to it. Here it is. Address 1 state province. I do want it on the left of the view, though. So let's just move this over. There's these nice arrow keys. Move my column all the way to the left. There we go. Perhaps I want to make this a little larger. Let's see. We can do change property while the column is selected. And the default for when you insert a column is going to be this 100 pixel value. This is just referring to the length of the column. I'm going to make it a little larger. Let's try 150 pixels for this example. Okay, yeah, that should probably hold the state. But I also want to sort by the state. There's a configure sorting button here on the right. Let's go through that. So currently it's sorting by account name first. I'm going to sort by the address first. Then maybe we can do account name. This is great that we actually get the two forms of sorting so we can really see the data. I'm going to hit OK. And I think we're done here with the column, so I'll exit here. Cool. Let's get some results. Cool. So we have our views now. I'm actually going to change the sorting on this column so we can really see the addresses. Cool. Now we have some data. Still pretty large, but it's a lot smaller than it was before with all the New Jersey accounts. Let's narrow it down even further. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to go over saving the views, actually. So let's go over, let's try to save this view. We can go to the View section of the ribbon, Save As, and it's not just active accounts anymore. Let's think of a name for the view. Non-New Jersey active accounts. So that kind of describes the data we're pulling in. I'm going to hit Save, and that'll save as a new view. So just like I did before with the active accounts, pull down the Save View drop menu, and I can see active accounts. And now I can actually see that my non-New Jersey active accounts is here as well. Also, if you'd like to see it, you can go to Save Views over here. This will allow you to share your view with others. Let's run through a quick demo of that. I'll take the view I just created. Once I select it, the ribbon actually lights up, and I'm able to select in the Collaborate menu, Share. So I just made it so the view is not shared with anyone. So let's actually try to share Lisa in on this one. Perfect. So I can search her name. Her name comes up. Select it from the lookup. And then add her to the list. Now she has read rights, but I also want to make sure she can see it. So let's really put the share checker so she can have access to it. Once I'm done selecting all my users, I can hit share. So now the record is shared out to her, and she is able to view the view. All right. So let's continue narrowing down that data. We have related entities also in the system. So let's say we have accounts where you want to see if there are any open cases under those accounts, any of those cases. So down in this field box, I'm going to go to related entities. And it's all the way at the bottom, right here. You'll see the little related tag. And I want to look at cases. So this is saying that I want to pull the cases, and I want to pull the accounts with it. The cases matches this customer field. So now I can filter the accounts based off of their related cases. If I would like to see which ones are active cases, I can kind of do the same thing I do with accounts. I can go to the cases status field, and just like above, make sure it's equal to active. Hit OK. Should be good now. Let's get some results. All right, that really narrowed down the data. Cool. So now we have some accounts that have open cases. This is where we're really getting into finding the exact data you need out of the large CRM system you may have. Let's get even more specific. Instead of dealing with these kind of operators, we can also filter out by dates, which is actually very interesting. You can come down. Maybe we want to find a case that was created this month. So if I go to the cases filter, I can do created on. And let's see. Let's pull down the date operator box. There are a lot of options here, but I just want to select the one that says this month. Cool. Let's just review our filter really quick. We're going to pull our primary entity accounts. We're going to pull if their status is equal, if they're not in New Jersey, if they have any open cases, and they were created this month. Let's see the results. And we have one. Great. So that shows us some data that we might want to find. It's really interesting and a great tool to use for really narrowing down all the data in your system. I also just want to touch on the download Fetch XML button. This is really simple and a nice way to actually construct views for maybe custom charts you might be making, custom reporting. You can even use these in custom workflows to pull certain data and then manipulate it and even act on it inside of the CRM system. It's very simple. We won't go too far into it, but if I click the button, it should prompt me to save it or download it, and I can save it right here as a .xml file and maybe send it off to whoever needs to read it. Maybe my custom developer needs a filter that I designed for him. Or if I'm going to do the coding myself, I could even come in here with the advanced finds and place my XML. So I really find advanced find to be a really great tool for us to use and view our CRM data. Let's go back to the next section of our slide here. Okay, now that we're done with the demonstration for advanced finds, we can move on to dashboards. The dashboard wizard is actually also right on the top of the workplace menu for the dashboards page. It's right there on the left on the same bar that the advanced lines are on. Not too hard to find. Let's go through a demonstration of the dashboard. So here we are, main page again. And let's just go through some dashboards to see what they might look like. The Microsoft Dynamics CRM overview dashboard is what's out of the box native to CRM. And it displays the features of a dashboard pretty nicely. It shows this one big chart with the sales pipeline. Some more charts over here to display your data. Also lists, so you can even see maybe your all activities, maybe some open activities, right from opening CRM 2013, so you can just click and get to work. So that's our quick overview of the native ones. Now you kind of get the idea of how dashboards look. You can create a new one. I'm going to click on the new button, and they actually give us some sample layouts, which are pretty nice. There's some basic block ones. You can already see that some of these longer ones, like in our example down here, are more for lists. So it's nice they give you that option also right away. I'm actually going to use this tall one because I want to also put in this pipeline report or pipeline chart. So let's select this one and do create. Cool. Now we are in our custom dashboard. They give us some blocks, so now the only thing left to do is fill them with components. I'm going to insert a chart, particularly in this box. there's a little button right here. You just want to click it, and it opens up the Add Component dialog box. For our example, I want to have that sales opportunity pipeline. So that chart is related to opportunities. So when I'm looking for the primary record type, I'm going to look at opportunities. Right there. So now it will show me all the views that are available for opportunities. Let's just do open opportunities. That sounds good. And then also all charts that are associated to opportunities. I would like to see my sales pipeline. It also gives you a nice little preview in here. I can click Add. It also gives you a nice preview on the dashboard of the chart you're about to put in. Cool. So now we have that down. What else can we add? We can add a list. I'm going to come in here to one of our other boxes. So now I can add the dashboard object of a list. This is basically going to display a view, maybe one of the native out-of-box CRM views, or one you created on your own. So let's actually do that. Let's put in a view we created on our own, so we can view it on our custom dashboard. We made this under accounts, so I'm going to keep the primary record type as accounts. And our view was this non-New Jersey active accounts listed under my views. Perfect. Cool. Let's add it. Now there's no preview for the lists, but they will populate once you save the dashboard. So this list might be a little small. It only can show you 3 columns when we were looking at the view before, there were maybe around 10 columns that we could have viewed. So what if we want to actually extend this all the way across the dashboard? We're going to have to manipulate the size. You can select the dashboard object, and you can increase its size by going to this little ellipse menu. And then here they have increase width. You can increase the height, even decrease the height. I believe it's the smallest it could be right now, so you can't decrease the width. But for now, let's just make it a little wider for us. Perfect. That should give us plenty of space for a view to display all the columns without having to scroll too far. Perfect. And now we have our custom dashboard. Let's just give it a name. So you can say sales pipeline and non-New Jersey accounts dashboard. Cool. We can save it. And close. And there it is. Pops up right on the front of the workplace. If you would like it to show up immediately when you open CRM, you're going to have to, as your own user, set this as default. Otherwise, you'll have to come in here in the menu and actually look at your dashboard. Just like we could with views, we're able to share dashboards as well. We can share this one with Lisa. Same kind of process. When we go in here, look up records. Whoops, I'm going to open her record. I'm going to select it and then add. Don't forget to click the share checkbox. Share. And now she should have access to your custom dashboard. Okay, well that's it for this demonstration. And I believe that's the end of the slide. So I'll be taking questions and answers. I believe Lisa's going to be moderating some of those questions.
Yep, hey Mitch. Okay, I've got a couple of questions. One question that came in earlier in the Advanced Find presentation, the question was, can you build, what is this question? Let me just read this again. So can you build conditions into related entities? So in other words, is there a way, if in your example you went through and you showed us how to find accounts that were not in New Jersey that had open cases, could you add another condition into that statement if they, to look for only cases that had open activities, for instance?
Oh, okay, sure. So if we're looking at that, we would be looking, let's actually go into our live system so I can show you. Let's go to Advanced Finds. Yes, we should actually be able to do that. The specific example you're talking about is almost the third level of related entities. I'm going to open up our views again. So say we're looking for cases or accounts with cases that are active. And the specific question is if we can actually get a related entity to cases. You wanted activities that are open under the case. So let's say activities. So you can actually get this free drop-down level of advanced finds. You can actually go pretty far deep into this, and that's why I think it's such a great tool. It can also be downloaded in Fetch XML, so the same functionality can be imported into your custom code and custom workflows. And then for open status, you just choose, where is the, and you want to say open activities. And then there you can see that you have your constructed 3-layer advanced find.
Great. Okay. If there's another, if you have a related question to that, just let me know. Ping me in the question box. I'll move on to the next question. The next question was on the dashboard section. Can you load charts and dashboards with external content, or does it only have to be within CRM?
Oh, yeah, of course you can. Let's see. If you go to our dashboards, one feature I hadn't touched on was, as well as charts and lists, you can also import iframes and even web resources that you upload to CRM. This is a great way to maybe have the news page of your company's website to be on the dashboard, just so you can have a quick look at it from one website, maybe instead of opening a bunch of tabs, or if you're already on your tablet out working in CRM and you just want a quick look at maybe the blog site. You can also insert iframes, really anything you can put as an HTML web resource for CRM. It gives the dashboards a lot of functionality that way.
Great. When you export, let's see, when you export excuse me, I can't talk today. When you export Fetch XML from a view, when you export Fetch XML from a view, what exactly can you do with it?
Okay, so the Fetch XML is going to be just a standard XML file that contains all of the filter criteria from your advanced find. It actually looks very similar to the way we constructed the advanced find. So where you have these levels, it'll show you the accounts, and then underneath it, fields and their operators and values. You can actually take that code. If you're making custom charts, you can actually make the view for that custom chart fixed, and it'll actually filter whatever's coming in through the view for the chart. For custom reports, it's a great way to, maybe if you're not very SQL savvy, you can use Fetch XML instead by just creating an advanced find view. Might be a lot easier than picking up SQL and just trying to go at a custom report if you're not familiar with it. Also, you can put it into custom workflows. we've done custom workflows where we've taken data from customers that are lined up in advanced finds, exported the Fetch XML, and we're able to use a custom workflow that only dealt with the records the customer was interested in. So like I said, that's another reason why the Fetch XML is a great tool for developers to instantly put things in plain English into active code that is applicable in your CRM system.
Great. The other question that I've gotten, I think we answered already, that was, can you share views and dashboards with your colleagues and with other folks? I think you showed how to do that for both advanced finds and dashboards.
Yep. So that's actually just going to be in Save Views, just a reminder, when you're in your advanced find. You select the view, and then just click Share right here.
Great. Okay, any other questions out there? All right, I don't see any other questions or hand raising. Thank you, Mitch, very much for the presentation today, and thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a presentation on the mobile options for 2013. So we look forward to seeing you all then. Have a nice weekend.